Happy Monday and President's Day. Thanks for joining me. I am joining you from my living room because it's warmer up here because the power keeps going out. So today in child's pose, sensitive knees, you can always pad them with an extra blanket, or you could roll a blanket underneath the backs of the knees to make that flexion a little bit less. And you could walk the arms forward if you want, or you could fold the hands underneath the forehead and take the elbows wide. It's always really interesting to me. Sometimes child's pose feels good in my body, and sometimes it feels agonizing. And so this is one of those shapes that I use as a bit of a barometer for how my physical body feels. We'll just take some time here to start to settle. And start to draw your awareness to the breath. So we'll take about 3 more deep breaths here. You can start to feel that sensation at the back of the throat. You can maybe hear that sensation or that sound of the breath, the back of the throat. We'll inhale and pull the torso forward, find tabletop, and stack your wrist underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Begin to move through cat and cow a few times. One more time through cat and cow, arching the spine and then letting the belly draw down and the heart forward. And then hips all the way back to the heels, child's pose. So this time we'll find an active child's pose. Stretch your arms as far forward as they'll go. Press into your 10 fingertips. Lift your elbows away from the mat. So the arms are actively lifted and engaged. On your next inhale, pull your heart forward. You're going to find a back bend that's going to work for you. So that might be right here, like cow pose, or it might be drawing the hips down and forward, like a lazy upward facing dog. And then press through the hands, hips all the way back to the heels, child's pose. We'll move in and out of these two shapes a few times. This is chakra bakasana, and that means dynamic wheel. So it's kind of like you're drawing a wheel with your body from the side. So again, you can make it as big or as small as you like, and it does not need to look like me. Let your body be your own unique experience. One more time back towards child's pose. Let's pause here. Walk the hands off to your left. Really press down through your right hand as you pull your right hip back towards the heel. So you're creating some space along the outer right ribs, right waist. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, walk your hands back through center, and then hands off to the opposite side. So over towards the right. Press down through that left hand firmly. Relax the forehead and pull the left hip back to the left heel. Breathe into that left side waist, ribs. Inhale, make your way back through center. Pull yourself into tabletop. Knees underneath the hips, curl your toes under, lift the hips up and back, find downward facing dog. So in your downward facing dog, explore a little bit of a wider stance. Maybe the feet, ankles are outer hip width distance, and the same with the hands. Maybe they're outer shoulder width distance. You could add a little movement here, bending the knees right and left. Stay connected to that Ujjayi breath. Relax your head. Inhale, shift forward, find high plank, lengthen out. Heel bones stretch back, crown of the head stretches forward. Stay here, pause. Press down through the hands, really strong and long through the arms. Slight round to the upper back. Press through the hands and lift the hips up and back. And inhale, shift forward, high plank. So same idea with chakra vakasana as high plank to down dog. There's kind of this fluid circular like motion in and out. So I like to think of the spine as having this wave-like quality to it as I ripple the spine forward, lengthening out into high plank, and then reversing that, pressing through the hands, lengthening the tailbone towards the ceiling. Try that twice more on your own. Come all the way back to downward facing dog. Pause there, breathe in, breathe out. Lift the heel bones, slight bend in the knees, take the gaze forward, make your way up to the top of your mat. And then take your feet about hip width distance apart or outer hip width distance. Again, it's just a little bit wider. And grab your opposite elbows, generous bend in the knees. Sway the body side to side. Let your head be heavy and relaxed. So more than focusing on just the hamstrings, notice the whole back body. That's the posterior chain, the lumbar spine, thoracic spine, cervical spine. Everything on the back body is opening. Now release the fingertips down towards the floor. Really root through your feet. We'll reverse uncurl the spine. Head coming up very last. Take your time. Eventually you'll feel your ears stack over shoulders, shoulders stack over hips. We're going to move through a few exercises, we'll call them, starting with the feet and through the length of the body. So first set up your feet so that they're like making this little pie shape, toes turning out and heel bones together. Take your hands to the low belly here and just close the eyes. And so with the eyes closed, You're bringing your awareness into the physical body. This is your proprioception, where your body is in time and space, and your relationship to that. So right down to the soles of the feet, you can feel the forefoot, you can feel the heel, the inner and outer arches, and all 10 toes. Start to shift the torso forward. So like you're leaning more into the ball mounds of the feet, still with the eyes closed. And then just take it back. So you're leaning more back, more weight in the heels, but feet are still grounded. Forward once more, leaning the body forward. And then leading the body back. And then find that central axis of the spine, grow tall. You can blink the eyes open here and take your feet so that they're parallel to one another, right underneath the hips. You can just relax the arms. So we'll wake up the ankle bones now. We'll step the right foot forward. I'm going to mirror you and turn your right toes in. So you're internally rotating through this right hip. And now you're going to roll to the outer edge of that right foot, and you're kind of going to lean the weight forward and then back. So you're just rolling to the outer edge of the right foot and then leaning back. So you're opening up the lateral part of that right ankle. One more time. Step your right foot back into place and then step your left foot forward, internal rotation, toes turning in towards the midline of the body. You're rolling to the outer edge of the left foot and then sealing the foot back to the mat. Rocking forward. There's usually one ankle that feels a little bit more stuck. And if you've rolled your ankle recently, just be really gentle with this. Good, one more time. And now we'll do that for the internal ankle. So we'll take a wider stance, kind of like you're coming into Prasarita Padottanasana. We'll bend into the left knee. So you're bending your left knee and then roll the inner edge of the right foot in. So the sole of the outer foot picks up and then press it back down. Okay, so you're just rolling into the inner edge of the foot and pressing it back down. And now keep your left knee bent. One more time like that. So you don't want to go so far as to feel it on the knee joint, but you might feel it on the inner thigh. And switch sides. So bending that right knee, keep it bent. Roll to the inner edge of the left foot and then press that foot back down. Just a couple more times. Waking up the ankles. Come back up. Bring the feet back underneath the hips. And now we'll get to the tops of the feet. So we're going to send our right foot back behind us. Find internal rotation. So the toes are moving in towards the midline. And you're just going to take a really soft, gentle bounce here. Bending both knees. But the right leg's a little bit more straight. I'll show you from the side. So again, lateral ankle. And now pick that right foot up and stretch the toes straight back behind you. So you're on the top of the foot, stretching the toes straight back behind you, and give me that bounce a couple of times, just gentle. If you're losing your balance and you have a wall close by, go ahead and grab on. Just to the top of the foot. Okay, come back through. Shake out that left leg and ankle. Sorry, right leg. So now we'll do the left side. So find that internal rotation, toes are going to move in. And so you're finding the lateral side of the left ankle. Little bounce. Gentle. Use your breath. And now pick up the foot and just stretch the toes straight back behind you. I'll give you again a side view. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, and then come back through center, standing tall. Shake out that left leg. Just a little bit more here, and then we'll get moving. So we're gonna balance on the left foot, pick up your right knee, and you're just gonna swing that foot side to side. It's like a pendulum swing. Again, if balance is challenging, maybe hands on the hips as you swing the foot side to side, or if you have a wall close by, you can plant your hand on the wall. Just swinging the foot, wake up the hip flexors. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Plant that right foot down, shift weight, pick up the left knee. And again, just swinging the foot side to side. Doesn't have to be as fast as me. Just waking up hip flexors. Good. Plant those 2 feet, outer width hip distance apart, and sway the body side to side. So just see if you can rotate through the torso, let your hips kind of not remain stationary, but you're not moving from the hips, you're moving from the upper torso, the upper ribs. Let your arms get involved so you can swing your arms. And then let your head turn. You can turn the gaze back behind you. Okay, we'll come back through center and we'll get the neck here for a few moments. So turning your gaze all the way towards your right. And then your gaze through center all the way towards your left. Again, I'm mirroring you today. Turn the head towards the right and towards the left. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Now come back through center. We'll take that ear to the right shoulder. Back through center, ear to the left shoulder. Continue. Okay, and then back up through center, we'll just draw a circle with the nose. So make that circle big or small or somewhere in between. Let your neck, your shoulders decide. Change directions with your circle. 2 more breaths as you circle out. Good. All right. So we'll do a little bit of movement for the legs and then we'll actually get into our vinyasa flow. So inhale, palms stretch forward. Let your palms face up. This will be your inhale. And then on your exhale, keep your feet planted, your heels planted, bend your knees. You're just going to keep bending your knees as much as you can with the heels on the ground. So you're only going so far as you can with the heels on the ground. Inhale, palms up, stand up. And then exhale, palms down, lower. Keep those heel bones rooted. 3 more. So nice and slow, keep that pace steady throughout. Try not to speed up. Remember to flip the palms up when you're breathing in, flip the palms down when you're breathing out. Okay, one more time. Exhale to lower. Stay in contact with the heel bones. Inhale to stand up. Relax your arms. Take a big breath in, circle the arms out wide. Palms down, trace the midline with the fingertips. Cleansing breath. Okay, last little bit here. We'll take the heels in towards one another. So again, you're back to that pie-like shape with the feet. And this time the heels are going to lift and lower, and we're going to work the balance a little bit. Be mindful of the knee joints. Same thing with the arms. So inhale, stretch the arms forward. On your exhale, start to bend the knees out wide. They're in the same direction as the toes. And your heel bones are going to lift. Press down through the feet and stand up. Let the heel bones lower. Okay. So 4 times. Lower. Inhale, lift. And then again, the tendency is to want to speed up. See if you can keep that pace slow. The slower you go, the more muscular contraction there is, the stronger, the more muscles you use. One more time. Good. Set those heel bones back to parallel. Scoop the arms out wide. Breathe in. Exhale, trace the midline with the fingers. Breathe out. Good. So let's come back to the top of the mat. We'll start to add on to our vinyasa. Inhale, arms out wide. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees enough to plant the hands. Make your way to downward facing dog. Just downward facing dog here first. Breath in. And breath out. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, step your right foot forward. We're going to set that left knee down and make this a much shorter stance. So like our 290-degree angle shapes, make that even a little bit shorter maybe. Okay, so it's your low lunge with your left knee on your mat. Now turn your right toes out to the right side, a few toes, right? So you have your right foot at an angle. Now we're going to sink the hips down and forward so that thigh, the back of the right thigh is kind of resting on the calf. And your knee is actually going over your ankle, which is okay. Happens every time you walk upstairs. If this left knee needs a little extra padding, feel free to fold the outer edge of the mat over. Just let your arms relax. And maybe you take the gaze upward. So this is Ardha Bhujangasana. Breath in. Breath out. Bring the hands forward. Step your right foot back. Lift your hips up. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale, sweep your left leg up and back. Second side, left foot forward. And make that a shorter stance. So it's a lot easier to get into this Ardha Bhujangasana, this low lunge variation, the closer your stance is. Okay, so I have 2 90-degree angles. I'm going to turn my left toes out to the left side. And then I'm going to move my hips forward until the back of my left thigh is kind of in contact with that calf. Let the arms relax. You might lift up through the chest. Maybe you add the gaze up towards the ceiling. Breath in. Breath out. Hands down. Curling the right toes under. Left foot back. Down dog. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Exhale, knees to the mat, hips to the heels. Keep the toes curled under. So you're in an active child's pose, toes curled under. I want to explore a variation on Vinyasa today. It's kind of like, if you think about a reverse engineered push-up, it's kind of like that. So you might just take a seat on your knees and watch me here first. But from this crouching position of this active child's pose, I'm going to bend my elbows out wide to the sides, pull my heart forward, and then press straight up into upward facing dog. Difference here is my toes are curled under, right? So I'm on the ball mounds of my feet. From there, I'm pressing into my hands, lifting the hips up, down dog. Okay. And then I'll show you one time from this angle from the center so you can see what my elbows are doing. So from that child's pose, toes curled under, elbows wide. Keep the toes curled under as I lift my heart, upward facing dog. So let's try that together a couple of times. Find that active child's pose. Press down through your hands, spread your elbows out to the sides, and press the arms straight. Lift the heart, legs are straight. You're on the ball mounds of your feet. Press down through your hands, strong arms. Lift the hips up, down dog. Let's try it twice more. Shift forward, knees to the mat. Hips towards the heels, that active child's pose. Breath in, elbows wide, keep the chest low. Then straighten out through the arms, lift the chest. Press through the hands, hips rise. It takes a little bit of practice. Probably feels kind of awkward at first, and that's okay. One more time through. When you're ready. All right, settle in, down dog. Breath in. Breath out. Lift the heel bones, slight bend in the knees, gazing forward. Make your way up to the top of your mat. Okay, inhale, halfway lift here. Fingertips to the shins at first, press down through your feet. Keep that halfway lift. An option maybe hands to the heart or fingertips to the back of the head. Press down into the feet, keep your elbows wide if your hands are at the back of your head, and pull the body straight up to standing. Relax your arms, cleansing breath, arms sweep up. Exhale, fingertips trace the midline of the body as you fold all the way back in. Adding on to Vinyasa, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your way into down dog. Pause there. Feel your hands, feel your feet, feel your whole back body strong and open. Inhale, extend your right leg up and back. Step your right foot forward. Left knee to the mat. Ardha Bhujangasana, right toes turn out to the right side. Lean the hips forward. Rest the back of the thigh on the calf. Relax your arms, lift the gaze. Breath in. Breath out, hands down. This time we're going to curl the left toes under and take a turn to the left so that you're at the back of the mat. Right knee down, left toes turning out. Relax the arms, lift the gaze. We just turned this to the back of the mat, left leg forward, right leg back. Quarter turn again, just one quarter turn to your right. Find a horse stance. Okay, so horse stance, your feet can be almost parallel or they can be slightly turned out to the side. It's easier for me to get a nice long torso if I turn my feet slightly out to the side. We're just gonna hold this stance. Okay, so see if you can sit a little bit lower. Hold that stance right there. And we'll add some arms on. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms forward, press that energy away. Gather it back in, and then press it back down. So inhale, palms facing up. Exhale, press the palms away. Inhale, gather that back into the chest. Exhale, push it back down. Stay low. Just continue with this with your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One last time. Good. Stand up through the legs. Sweep the arms out wide. Exhale, trace the midline of the body. Heel bones out. forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Just a couple of breaths here. Notice where the weight is falling in the feet. Good. We'll take that quarter turn back to the top of the mat. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift here. Maybe fingertips start out at the shins, or hands to the heart, or fingertips to the back of the head and elbows wide. Feel your navel hug up into your spine, press down to your feet, stand tall. Breath in, breath out. Relax your arms. Cleansing breath to come all the way back into our forward fold. Inhale, arms out wide, reach up. Exhale, fingers down the midline, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the mat, step into down dog. Breath in, breath out. So this time we'll lead with the left leg. Inhale, left leg, sweep it high. Exhale, left foot forward. Short stance, right knee to the mat. Ardha Bhujangasana, left toes out to the left side as you lean forward with the hips. Let that left thigh come to the calf. Maybe you lift the chest, maybe you lift the gaze. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. We're taking a quarter turn all the way. Well, it's more like a 180-degree turn all the way to the back of the mat. So now your right foot is forward, your left knee is down. Right toes turn out to the side. Short enough stance allows that thigh to connect with the calf on the right side. Breath in here. Breath out. Now just a quarter turn back to your left. Find that horse stance again. So maybe feet are kind of parallel, maybe toes are kind of turning out. Sink the hips, pause here. Just take your hands to the heart, or you can cross the hands over the chest, resting your hands on your opposite shoulders. So really just let this be about the legs. We'll inhale, lift the left heel up, set it back down. Inhale, right heel up, set it back down. Continue side to side with the heels, keeping the hips low. Continue breathing. Check in with your Ujjayi breath. Okay, now both heels down. Pause here. Both heels up. See if you can just lift and lower the heels. Both heels at the same time, lifting and lowering. And maybe they don't come that far away from the mat. Maybe they just hover an inch or two or a millimeter. That's totally fine. One more time, lift and lower. Set the feet down into parallel, sweep the arms out wide, reach up, straighten out through the legs, forward fold into Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. A few moments here. Good, quarter turn back to the top of the mat. Step the right foot forward to meet the left foot. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips to shins, hands to heart, or fingertips to the back of the head. Pull the back body up to straight. Cleansing breath, inhale, arms out wide, reach up. Exhale, forward fold all the way back in. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale back to high plank this time, high plank. Pause in your high plank. Knees to the mat, hips to the heels. Toes are still curled under. Try that reverse engineered push-up. So elbows come wide, pull the heart forward. Straighten out through the arm bones as you lift the chest. Press through the hands to lift the hips up and back, down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's try that one more time. Shift forward, knees to the mat, hips to the heels, toes curled under. When you're ready to inhale, forward, elbows wide. Press the arms straight. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee towards right tricep. See if you can pause there, make a connection, even if it's just space in between the right knee and the right tricep. And then pull that right knee into the chest, hug it into the chest so it's right in the center line. And then plant the foot between the hands. So you can have a longer lunge this time. We'll let that left knee come down to the mat. This time, ankle underneath knee joint. Come to the top of the left foot. If blocks here are helpful, you can take them underneath your hands if you have them. Otherwise, you can be on your fingertips. See if you can press down through the top of the left foot, lift the left knee up. Okay, so mindful of the knee joint. Lower the left knee back to the mat, and then lift it back up. A couple of times. Good. One last time. Now let's curl the left toes under. Lift the left knee. Press down through right heel bone and the ball mound of the left foot. Sweep the arms out and up. On your exhale, fingertips trace the midline. Lower the left knee to hover or slowly touch down. We'll try that a couple times. We're making circles with our hands as we lift up into a high lunge and as we lower down into a low lunge. One more time like that. Left knee lowers all the way back to the mat. Quarter turn, actually 180-degree turn, so that you're at the back of your mat in this low lunge. Second side. So you uncurl the right toes, come to the top of that left foot. Come onto your fingertips or have your blocks if you're using them. Lift that right knee. Lower the right knee. Again, find your own range of motion. Does not need to look like mine. What is appropriate for your knee, for your body? Twice more. Lift and lower. Good, now curl those right toes under. Lift the right knee up. Sweep the arms out wide, circle them up. Fingertips down the midline of the body, lower that right knee, maybe to hover or maybe to touch. So circling the arms out as you lift up, reach up. As you exhale, pull everything down towards the floor. Twice more. Good, next time, come down to the mat, hands down, quarter turn. Find yourself in Prasarita Padottanasana. So quarter turn to your right, feet are parallel. Take your right hand to the outer left ankle. Bend your right elbow. Now take your left hand to the outer left shin, just below the knee. So you're pressing your hands into the leg here, pressing down through both feet. You can lay that right ear towards the bicep on the right side, or the forehead can move towards the shin. See if you can stay even through the hips. Breath in, and breath out. Let's unwind out of that. Take that quarter turn all the way up to the top of the mat. And just step right into down dog here. Pause in down dog. And breath in. Breath out. Shift forward, knees to the mat. Keep your toes curled under, hips to the heels. Active child's pose. Inhale, elbows wide, pull the heart forward, press the arms straight, upward facing dog with toes curled under. Press down through the hands, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. One more time through like that on your own. If you prefer a more traditional approach to your vinyasa, feel free to take it. This is just something interesting, something different to explore. We'll meet in down dog. Okay, second side, inhale, left leg, sweep that up and back. On your exhale, left knee towards the left tricep or elbow. See if you can make that connection. Just pause there, press the floor away. And then sweep that left thigh up into the chest, give it a squeeze, center it off, and plant the left foot between the hands. Stack the ankle underneath the knee. Soften your right knee down. Okay, so just 3 times on each side. So start off with the right foot pressing down. Lift the right knee up and then lower it. So you're on the top of the right foot, you're lifting and lowering the right knee joint. One more time. Now curl the right toes under, press through both feet. See if you can sweep the arms out wide, circle them up towards the ceiling, and then all the way back. Maybe hovering just above the mat. Maybe this time you explore not touching the mat with the knee, or maybe you let it soften all the way down. Just 3 times through. Okay, one last time. So as that right knee comes down, we're going to take that turn, that 180-degree turn all the way to the back of the mat. Second side, first come to the top of your left foot, pop up onto your fingertips or use your blocks. Lift and lower that left knee, any amount. For 3, 2, last one. Curl your left toes under. Press down through both of your feet. Lift the torso up, circle the arms out. Exhale, lower. Use your breath. One more time. Let that left knee come all the way to the mat. We're taking a quarter turn so that we can wind up in Prasarita Padottanasana with the feet parallel. Okay, see if you can keep your hips relatively equal. Take your left hand, grab the outer right ankle. Left hand to outer right ankle, and then right hand to the outer shin bone, just below the knee. You're bending your left elbow, and you might even rest that left ear against the bicep. Or maybe the forehead moves towards the right shin. Either way, pause here, breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath. We'll start to slowly unwind, crawl our way back to the top of the mat. Step your left foot to meet the right foot. Down dog. If you'd like that kind of reverse engineered push-up, that vinyasa flow, you can feel free to take that or something more traditional. Any sort of vinyasa that you're craving. And then we'll meet in child's pose. So we'll just take a moment in child's pose to feel the forehead connect to the mat, to the earth, to the floor. Just feel that sense of connectivity. Feel that stable sense of the ground beneath you. Blink the eyes open here, just taking in the colors. the textures, the shapes around you, underneath you. And we'll have an inversion practice. We've been working towards our Shalamba Shirshasana. I keep getting headstand and shoulder stand mixed up. So feel free to continue to practice that with me, or if there's another inversion that you would rather take, like maybe today a restorative inversion is more appropriate, legs up the wall or something along those lines, legs over a chair. That's totally always welcome. If you would like to continue to practice supported headstand, we first find that space at the wall, maybe. So maybe you sliding your mat against the short edge of the wall. If you're planning on coming all the way upside down, and you don't have to, because I'm going to walk you through a drill for building towards that, being able to come upside down. First, now, some of you already are familiar with this, so if you're feeling comfortable and ready to come right into headstand, go for it. Otherwise, interlace your fingers to the webbing, take a peek at your elbows. You're going to keep them in line with your shoulders. So you created this triangle, which you're just going to roll right down onto the mat, stamp it there. And then you're going to tuck your chin in and place the top of the head squarely on the mat so that the hands are curling around the back of the head. This is your foundation. You're going to keep that just as it is. Now, right away, before you do anything else, press down through the elbows, feel the neck long, and the collarbones spread. So the ears are moving up, the shoulders are moving up away from the ears. Now, curl the toes under, lift the hips up. And you might walk the feet forwards up and see how that feels. So this is a first step in your drill. Maybe you're staying here and you're just practicing feeling the weight on the crown of the head. And where is the crown of the head for you? Okay, so if that's feeling good, you might practice lifting one leg, not kicking, just lifting. And maybe you come onto the tippy toes of the foot that's still on the mat. And you could switch out the legs one at a time until that weight starts to shift forward. And eventually one day, everything will just kind of lift and stack. And I know that sounds like a magic trick, but really it's just the mechanics of the body coming into this central axis of alignment. So if you are upside down, feel free to stay. If you're feeling stable, your neck's feeling good, everything's feeling strong, feel free to stay for 5 to 10 more breaths. If you're moving through those drills with me, you can take a break and come back and try one more drill, just finding that foundation of that triangle, finding the top of the head, feeling that weight shift forward onto the head and the elbows, and just practice lifting one leg, never, ever, ever kicking up into headstand, just lifting. One leg at a time, feel that weight transfer. If you're still holding your headstand, maybe 1 to 2 more breaths. And then with control, nice and slow, when you're ready, come all the way down, soft landing, find child's pose. So we'll take a variation on child's pose today. I want you to just lift up for a few moments, sit up onto your knees in Virasana. And you're going to cross your elbows. So you're laying your hands, not your elbows, you're laying your forearms across your chest, and you're laying your hands on top of the thighs. And then you're rolling down into child's pose. So my hands look like this. They're just across the internal organs. And that's the purpose, that we're compressing internal organs of the body, giving those organs that work so hard for us a bit of a internal massage. Few breaths here. Okay, let's lift up, come out of child's pose. Cross your feet behind you and send your feet forward. So first, find Dandasana. Just hands alongside the hips. Sit up. I have somebody at my door. Oh, it's Brandon. Okay, guys, that's what happens when you teach from home. People come and knock on your front door. I'm just going to ignore it. All right, so toes pointing up towards the ceiling, lifting the chest tall. Now, crawl your hands forward. Your hands can be on your shins, your ankles. Fold into this. Maybe your hands reach for the outer edges of the feet. So really anywhere the body stops you, just let it stop you. There's no goal, like you don't need to get your hands to your feet. That doesn't get you a gold yoga star. Let your chin curl in, let your head be heavy here. Just allow your body to forward fold. And just like Uttanasana, really let this be more about the whole back body and not so much about the hamstrings. So you can feel this sense of opening across the lumbar, thoracic, cervical spine. Three breaths here. Last one. And we'll take the hands alongside the hips. We'll counterpose, Parsvottanasana. Point the toes forward. Maybe your feet get all the way to the mat. Mine certainly don't. I have tight ankles. So press down through our hands, lift our hips up. You can bend the knees if you want, or you can keep the legs straight. I like to bend my knees. Your choice what you want to do with the head. You can lean it all the way back if that feels okay, or you can just keep the head up. One full breath here. Inhale. And then exhale, hips back down. We'll take one more forward fold, give you a couple of options. So last week we practiced Gomukhasana legs. You can take that today. Right leg's going to start down on the ground first. So your left knee is going to stack on top and your feet would be coming wide. Gomukhasana legs. You can also make this just a really easy, comfortable cross-legged seat. So again, let your knee joints, your hip joints be your guide with that. All right, so if you're taking Gomukhasana legs, hands to the feet. If you're taking that easy cross-legged seat, just simply walk your hands forward, come into a forward fold any amount. For those of you in Gomukhasana, we'll inhale, grow tall, exhale, right shoulder towards the knee, towards that top knee. Inhale, grow tall, left shoulder towards the top knee. So you're kind of folding and twisting all at once from side to side. Just continue with that. Hands stay on the feet in Gomukhasana. In your easy seated forward fold, your arms are just stretching forward. And now Gomukhasana legs will join our friends in that easy forward fold. So walking the hands forward any amount, curling the chin in, find that forward fold. Start to release, come back up through center. Let's switch out the legs. So your left thigh, left knee is closest to the floor. Right knee would be on top for Gomukhasana, feet wide out to the sides and hands to the feet, if that's what you're taking. This side might be different. Otherwise, you're in that really easy, comfortable seat and you're just gonna forward fold right into it. So for Gomukhasana, hands stay on the feet again. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale, left shoulder towards that top knee. Inhale back through center. And then the right shoulder comes down towards the top knee. Folding and twisting fluidly with the breath. And lift up, come back through center. If you're in Gomukhasana, now we'll just forward fold. Any amount. When you're ready, start to unwind. This time we'll take the legs forward, shake out the legs. You can roll the feet in and out. Now we'll come all the way down onto our back. We'll get ourselves prepared for our final Shavasana, our final rest. And I'm going to grab some extra layers, socks, long sleeves. Feel free to do the same if you think you're going to get chilly. So once you get onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. I'm going to rock a little bit side to side. Might turn that into happy baby, reaching for outer edges of the feet or somewhere along the backs of the legs. And feel free to explore a final twist and let it be something really simple. You know, knees just simply draping off to the left, the right hip on top. If there's some other twist you'd like, feel free to take any variation. 3 breaths on each side, nice and slow. Make your way back through center. And then set up your twist on the second side. Knees to the right, left hip on top. Any variation of that is welcome. One more breath here. When you're ready, unwind, come back through center. Take your time to set up your final resting position, whatever that looks like to you, whatever props you're using. Even a comfortable upright seat is welcome. So let Shavasana be your own. If you're stretching out on your back, let your shoulders move away from your ears. Slightly tilt your chin towards your chest. Let's take a big breath in through the nose. Audible sigh out through the mouth. Just let it go, let it rest. Shavasana. If you'd like to join me in a pranayama practice, left us some time. If you prefer to stay in Shavasana longer, feel free. Start to awaken through fingertips and toes. If you're coming with me, if you're on your back, stretch your arms up and over your head. Breathe into the length of your body. And then bending the knees, planting the feet, roll off to a side. Press into your hands and rise up to a comfortable seat. And let that seat be supported by a prop of some sort. Doesn't matter how you sit, just let it be comfortable and let it be your own.
And so our pranayama practice continues to be 3 rounds of breath of fire with Surya Vedana. Breath of fire is that forceful exhalation through the nose or mouth, pumping the navel into the spine. Inhale happens automatically. Surya Vedana, right hand up to the crescents of the nose, closing left, inhaling right, closing right, exhaling left, and right back to breath of fire. About 1 minute of breath of fire. Inhale to begin. Five, four, three, two, one. Surya Vedana, closing left nostril, inhaling right. Close right, exhale left. Breath of fire, inhale to begin. Five, four, three, two, one. Surya Vedana, close left, inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Last round, inhale, breath of fire. Five, four, three, two, one. Surya Vedana, last round, close left, inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Release your right hand, neutral breath through both nostrils. Just feel that resonance moving through the body. Joining the hands together at the heart, bowing the chin into the chest. And sing the sound of Om together one time. Inhale to begin. Ah. Reverence and gratitude for your practice, acknowledging that this is a practice that tended to over time with consistency yields great rewards. But any effort is valid. to all of our teachers, past, present, future, to the teacher within your own heart. Namaste.